King on Screen.
He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car!
King on Screen. You want to dive into
Yes, we
this
might as well.
mysterious
So
gem?
we're in the 90s now, our first 1990 movie, Misery.
Misery.
We talked briefly about it because this was directed by Rob Reiner. Um,
Rest in peace.
and I had read the novel before that. I was still into Stephen King at this point and kind of reading all of his books. So I had read the book. So I kind of knew what was coming. I remember saw it in theater opening night
No way.
because that's what I did. Yeah, back then I was like, I had to see every
Oh,
movie.
yes.
And I remember as a Midwesterner and probably as you as for Pennsylvania, I was just like, I knew it was happening, but I was like seeing cars skid in the snow, and
Oh,
oh, it made me nervous watching
yeah.
watching. Is
I hate driving in the snow
yeah, the
because I've
movie.
went off the road many times.
Yeah, we know what that's like. And I was like, and I think this movie came out in it came out in non-winter, but it just brings you back. It's like, I don't want to deal with ice and snow.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's scary enough, like the
yeah.
ice and snow. And this, if I'm not mistaken, was a huge film when it came out. I didn't see it theatrically, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember seeing it like everywhere. Like people were talking about
It,
it. It was,
it was, and now looking back, it was probably a hard film to sell. And I was looking on Wikipedia because so James Caan plays the lead male role. And but I was looking at they said William Hurt was offered a couple of times. He turned it down.
huh?
And they list the usual Kevin Kline, Michael Douglas, Harrison Ford, blah, 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 like all these actors. And I'm sure at some point everybody's name came up. But they said, oh, they all turned it down. I was like, probably because for them as an actor is like, I'm in bed the whole time. You're like, what?
Yeah,
There's no acting challenge
that's a good
for me.
point.
Warren Beatty wanted I think for that particular reason, he wanted to kind of change it up to be, they said less passive. But it was like, nope. And he had Dick Tracy to do anyway.
Yeah, a good point. And Kathy Bates is in both of these films.
But so Kathy Bates is like, she had done a couple roles. I remember seeing her. She's like one of the neighbors in The Morning After with Jane Fonda. So she was showing up here and there, but certainly not as a lead in any role. But
Right.
when you're
Because she
talking
was
about
in Dick Tracy for like 30
half a
seconds.
second, yeah.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah,
was, I
not
think
even.
she's more of a theater actress. Um, but yeah, and there's probably a risk, I'm sure. Um, the the studios were not wanting her, like who is the, like I can imagine, I don't know if this kind of came up, but I'm sure they wanted an unknown or something like that. But she knocked out of the park, and you can't imagine.
Oh, so great.
Well, it has been technically recast in other adaptations, but yeah, there was no, you can't imagine. It was perfect to have more of an unknown at that time because you just didn't know what to expect.
Very well
So
said.
if you
Because,
had Bette Midler, one,
right.
it probably would turn into a little like her performance in Stepford Wives were like so over the top that we're like, are we laughing at her? Are we scared of, I don't think we'd be scared of Bette Midler as Annie
Right.
Wilkes.
No, I wouldn't be able to sell it as much. And it was, I think I read the book before I saw it as well. And I was I'm pretty happy with the adaptation, obviously. But I would even go as far as saying it's like, I mean, definitely top three or five
Yeah.
King adaptations. It's just, and it was a departure for Rob Reiner, right? Because wasn't Princess Bride like the one before this or Harry Met Sally?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he had not done, and it's hard. This
Like,
is, I
how did
guess,
he get to do this?
thriller, I guess you'd probably call it. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't,
right.
I don't, I don't know the story actually of how. I'm sure how he was the one that got chosen, but um, yeah, I don't know.
It's
But
pretty interesting though. But it's one of my more favorite ones that I
yeah,
watched. One of my favorite ones, I should say.
it still works. It's pretty timeless. They have a good supporting cast. Frances Sternhagen, I just love she can do no wrong. I always
Yeah,
forget Lauren Bacall is in this,
yeah.
kind of a thankless part.
And what's
But
his name that plays Richard Farnsworth is in
or
it,
yeah, yeah. So that's the thing. It's a
who is
small
perfect as
cast.
a
Yeah,
salty like sheriff guy.
yeah. It was pretty lean, and it was tense, and there's probably it was lean enough, and this is why I never saw it as a stage play, but I know it was like Laurie Metcalf. I think on Broadway took over the Annie Wilkes role as a stage play. So it kind
Oh
of worked, and
yeah.
it would kind of work, as a stage play because most of it does take place in that room or kind of that house. And I think that it still works and it's still kind of scary that way. But
Yeah, it is very claustrophobic and creepy, and
yeah.
just makes you think about it when you're like, oh, what would he do in this
Yeah.
situation? And yeah, it
And it
is.
was kind of before, not that, I mean, now there's always been different stalkers and whatever, but yeah, I don't know. Still works.
And still one of the best King movie posters with the Courier News
Yes.
script font and everything. You're like, it just works. Now, what's the
Uh,
tagline? Paul used to write for a living. Now he's writing to save his life or
is that what
something.
it is?
Something like that. Yeah.
We haven't done movie taglines in a while. We have to
We're
bring that
due, I
back to where
think.
we should do. We are overdue, but
We are long overdue.
so yeah, and it's my overdue watching this, so I'll probably might pop this on, and we might have more to say about it
Yeah.
again. But
Good call.
it was interesting because we'll get into this later when we talk about probably Castle Rock the series because um,
Yeah.
this was end up being kind of prequel, kind of like for her, and it's like, how are you going to do this? And like, yeah, it almost reminded me when I was against Hannibal the series because I'm like, you can't get better than Anthony
Oh,
Hopkins. And I was like, well, maybe not, but it still made an interesting
that's a
story.
really
So
good
yeah,
analogy.
but
Yeah, because Castle Rock worked in that regard where,
it did. I was like, I don't.
yeah, like, come on, don't touch misery. Like, it
You're
was
not
already
gonna you're not gonna best Kathy Bates,
right. And
But
it was
yeah,
because they hit you over the head with
yeah,
Shawshank and Tim Robbins. You're like, okay, I get it. He was in Shawshank, and they have him like pulling up next to the Shawshank sign, and then I'm like, oh,
yeah,
are they gonna do this with Kathy Bates's character? And
yeah.
Annie Wilkes, and they did it. It was good. So anyway, so that's King
Yeah.
on Screen.